If you're new to my channel and are wondering why this week I have a travel video posting instead of a movie or TV reaction, then have no fear, my reaction videos will be continuing next week. Those of you who have been around a while know that traveling is my biggest passion, and when I travel, I spend a lot of time capturing my experiences both in photography and videography. Right now, I'm mostly making these videos for myself and my family and friends to look back upon, and I really enjoy making them. So if travel videos aren't your cup of tea, then I promise I'll be back with a reaction video next week. So if you're interested in my travels, you can keep watching this video, or you can watch my past travel videos in the playlist up above or in the description down below. Hello, fellow explorers, and welcome to the third and final episode of Stephanie's grand European tour of summer 2018. We are currently in Spain. Eriana is officially done with her program in Dublin, so we left this morning very early, and then we got to Barcelona, and as soon as we got out of the taxi, pouring rain, and we didn't know what to do with our bags. We were basically standing in the middle of open air, not really sure what to do, trying to get our umbrellas out and trying to figure out when our Airbnb hosts were going to be able to let us into their building, because we've been having to coordinate it and it's been a little rough. And so then we basically waited around, it was like at least 45 minutes, I'd say. We were waiting outside for a while, and then we got tired of that, so then we went downstairs in the metro for a while. Right now we're getting some lunch because we're starving, and it's been a day. It's really been a morning. I feel like all of the beautiful weather that I've been graced with over the past week of this trip has just like, all of the karma of it has built up until this one afternoon, and when everything just like exploded. So I thought I might get electrocuted. The lightning was that close. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what we get up to. We only really have one planned day, which is Monday, today's Saturday, where we're doing paddleboarding at sunrise and then a big mountain hike about an hour out of town. The rest is going to be chill. We're probably going to go to the beach a lot, do some of the main touristy stuff, but it's probably going to be pretty chill. Anyway, let's go. Good morning. So it is our second day. Yesterday was, I know I vlogged, but like I didn't really film much because basically walked around the Gothic Quarter, then we went to sleep for like 3 hours because of the experience that we had with the rain earlier. We were so tired.
Stephanie's downgrading it. We walked through almost all of the Gothic Quarter.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that we didn't see too.
And we got lunch and dinner. So we did some things.
We did, but I didn't film a lot of it. Anyway, so we did that, and so we napped for like 3 hours, and then at like 8:30 we wake up. We're like, what should we do with the rest of our night? So we decided to go get food. That's basically going to be the theme of our Spain trip, is just eating our way through Barcelona. But we decided to get food, and then we went down to the beach to where all the clubs are, and so we went to a club called Opium. It was lit. It was so much fun. So we showed up at like 12 or 12:30, and we left around 2:30. Like, then we just went and played in the water for like a solid 25-30 minutes in the Mediterranean. It was great. This morning we were doing kind of like our touristy day in Barcelona, and so Ariana's been the one that's been picking all the places. So where are we right now? Because I don't actually know.
So right now we're currently in, I think it's an acronym for like the Museum of History for Barcelona. Like one of them, there's a lot of them. So it's like MUHBA, like MUBA, I guess, like Turó de la Boveda. And it's basically just like a 360 viewpoint of the city. And so we took a train and a bus to get up here, and now we're just kind of looking at the city.
And it's beautiful. Look at the beach over there. That's the Mediterranean. And then on this side we've got mountain ranges or buildings, and it is gorgeous. Are in Park Guell, and it's pretty incredible. Fun fact about the park is that this park was essentially entirely built by Gaudi, who, if you don't know, is kind of like one of the most, if not like the most famous people in all of Spain. He designed the Sagrada Familia and kind of spent his life building it, and as we all know, it's not even completed yet, and he died quite a few years ago. And so his style and architecture are all over the city, and this park is kind of one of the epitomes of that. So since the park today, we've done a lot of Gaudi stuff. It's kind of been a day of Gaudi, or Gaudi. I need to look up how to pronounce it. So we were headed to the Sagrada Familia, but then we realized that down the street from where we got off on the bus to take the train, there we noticed one of the famous houses that Gaudi had built that we wanted to stop by. We decided to pay for the tour. The tour ended up being really, really cool. It was €22 for students, and they have an augmented reality little device that they let you take with you. So when you go to room and you hit the buttons, it like kind of shows you what the room would have looked like back when he originally built it for the family. We went to Casa Batlló, so it was made for the Batlló family in the 1800s, and the entire theme of the house is kind of like aquatics and light, and it's just an incredible experience. One of the coolest museums I've ever been to. But after that, we eventually made it to here, the good old famous Sagrada Familia. So I've been doing a little bit of research, and they started building this over 130 years ago in the 1880s. Gaudi took the project on when he was 30 years old, and this is the project that kind of put him on the map, and then started getting more and more projects like the park that he built and all these houses that I just mentioned that we went to. He knew that this project was going to be such a large undertaking that he was never going to see it finished in his lifetime. And so he and his team kind of focused on the one side, the front side of the building, so that way him and his team could actually see something mostly completed by the time they died. And he actually only designed parts of the church because he knew that he wouldn't be around for all of it, and also he got really busy with all these other opportunities to design for other buildings. And so he kind of gave ideas and concepts about some of the other sides, and then some of his apprentices and like people who got the title got passed down to have taken his words and concepts and inspirations and kind of built it from there. But I mean, essentially the entire building has been designed by Gaudi, and it's honestly incredible. When it's finished in 2026 on the 100th anniversary of his death, it will be the tallest religious monument in the world. If you're going to get tickets to go inside, do it in advance. We didn't do the tickets. We wanted to just come and look at it. I think it's still worth it, even though I didn't get to go in. Can't say for sure, but I mean, knowing what we saw from the Casa Batlló Museum, which 100% worth it, and seeing his work, I can only imagine what the inside looks like. So it is currently Monday. Last night we decided to go to the Magic Fountain, which we timed it kind of perfectly because we didn't realize that it's like a whole charade, and I thought it was going to be like the Bellagio Hotel where it runs like every 15 minutes on the dot, like all day. But no, it's like for 1 hour at night, every night, and the whole freaking town seemed to show up. I'm sure most of them were tourists, but there were so many people. But it was super cool. We were very impressed. And then today is another early morning, because this seems to be the theme of this trip. It is about 6 a.m. right now. We are at the beach waiting to go paddleboarding at sunrise. Let's go. Paddleboarding was kind of amazing. It was so much fun. I fell down, I think, like 3 times, and I got up quite a few times, but it was really, really fun. Highly recommend it. I don't even think you have to be staying in an Airbnb. I think you just like go into Airbnb and like find the excursion. But it was like $35 for like an hour of paddleboarding in the Mediterranean Sea at sunrise. It was great. Highly recommend. But now we are at my pick for the trip in Spain. Eriana's thing was the paddleboarding. My thing is Montserrat. So Montserrat is a town out like an hour from Barcelona, but what it's known for is the Montserrat Mountains and the Montserrat Monastery. And so you have to take these cable cars up it, and then you can even go and hire on trams that take you to the very top of the mountain, but there's a monastery with a bunch of really cool and really important relics, and it's just like really, really beautiful. So that's what we're doing today. Hiking trails above Montserrat. So when you get to Montserrat, I see you. When you get there, there's the whole monastery area. There's a couple museums, some hotels and restaurants, and you do all that shebang, which we're gonna go back down and do. But then they have what they call funiculars, which are like short trams that go really, really steep up to the next level of the mountain where all the hiking trails are. And so that's what we've been doing for the last 45 minutes. This was supposed to be a 15-minute trail. No. This is some sketchy climbing with ropes on the side and minimal to zero rails. But it's really beautiful. Highly recommend it. There's 3 major trails that you can take. Some of them can take like up to 2 hours and look very, very dangerous and sketchy. And then others are a little more safer. We thought this one for the most part was until we got to the end. If you guys plan in advance, you can book everything on the same ticket and get a cheaper price. Ours was about $35 and we got 2 metro tickets, which I'm not sure if we're actually gonna need them because we already paid for today's in advance because we got a 2-day pass. But you can get, for $35 if you order online, you can get 2 metro rides, so like a return ticket. You get the return ticket for the train from Barcelona to Montserrat. You get like an audio guide in a mini museum, and then you get unlimited rides on the funiculars. Oh, and you get your return ticket for either the cable car or the Cremella, I think, which is basically the funicular but longer. It's kind of complicated, and it was a bit of a process for me to do all the research to kind of get this in order, because a lot of different websites said a lot of different things. So definitely do your research and understand the difference between the tickets and how to best manage it so you don't have to buy everything individually. Anyway, Montserrat, highly recommend. We're gonna go back down the hill now and go get some lunch. The entire afternoon at the beach relaxing, and aside from the massive sunburn I got on my back, it was an amazing day. Then we went to dinner in the Gothic Quarter, and then we went to sleep because our flight back to the USA was the very next day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe. If you want to watch my other travel videos, you can watch them in the link up above, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy exploring!